Our top story tonight at 10, more than 100 children rescued and more than 150 pimps behind bars. This after a nationwide sex trafficking sting.
Right here in the Omaha Metro, 2 kids were recovered and 3 pimps now locked up. Tonight, Joe Chiodo is investigating what these numbers mean.
This video shows Operation Cross Country 9, a week-long sting to combat child sex trafficking in the U.S. This is a Virginia task force, but there are 73 child exploitation task forces nationwide. One is in Omaha. All of them joined together last week to bust pimps at the exact same time. FBI Supervisory Special Agent Kevin Heitrick with Omaha's division explains why.
We kind of get a better feel, an idea for how significant the problem is.
The nationwide numbers this year higher than years past. 149 kids recovered and 153 pimps arrested. But here in the Metro, the numbers were lower than usual. 2 kids recovered, 18 adult victims ticketed, and 3 pimps arrested.
Their means of being identified are much more difficult for us now.
What he means is it's not about people walking the streets anymore. Instead, those involved in sex trafficking rings are being found and sold online, making it a bit harder to catch the bad guys. But he says the lower numbers could also be a good thing, proving the stings are scaring pimps out of the business.
They understand that, there are people out there actively seeking them out.
Which is why Amy Richardson with the Women's Center for Advancement says pimps are now actively trying to brainwash these kids.
Human trafficking is just such an art. They have taken away all sense of freedom for those kids.
She estimates there are 100,000 kids in the U.S. caught up in these rings. The youngest rescued in this sting, just 12 years old. For her, it was great to hear 2 children in the Metro were recovered, but she wishes that number was higher.
It's like a drug cartel. I mean, you have to really be concerned about their safety.
Which is why this operation is focused on saving kids who can't save themselves.
We want them to know, that it doesn't have to be this way, and that we're here to, we're here to try and help.
And here at the Women's Center, Amy Richardson tells me that nearly every victim she's walked through those doors with was brought into the sex trafficking ring when they were a teenager. John and Mallory?
Joe, you mentioned the youngest in this sting was 12. Is that unusual?
Yeah, actually, it is pretty unusual. Now, the youngest ever was 9 years old that they found in one of these stings. But on average, the FBI tells me that it's more like between 15 years of age and 17. Back to you guys.
It's heartbreaking to hear that. All right. Thank you, Joe. Well, the Omaha division of the FBI tells us they hope billboards like this will get more kids to come forward. They have launched these in Omaha and all across the country. They hope it shows kids they are victims and can escape sex trafficking.